You could make a case for what's going on in here settling out on its own. In other words, if you give it a little more time, maybe it'll work itself out. The fish will set up a hierarchy, a pecking order, and then things will calm down. But it's been my experience in dealing with cichlid aggression that you really have to move really, really fast. So I went into this with high hopes and certainly hoped for the best, as the saying goes, but planned for the worst. So what I didn't like, what I immediately saw that I didn't like, was that once the red terror started to become more and more comfortable, he started to corral the Oscar and the Vieja into the back left corner of the aquarium. And I didn't like that at all. They were both just sort of in the corner, facing the corner, down deep, in like they were being punished, you know, afraid to come out. And so I didn't want them to be under that kind of stress. I grew both of those fish out from little babies, and you could say, well, gee, the red terror is more spectacular. Maybe you should think about rehoming those two and keeping the. No, I've grown pretty fond of that red tiger Oscar and also that Vieja. So now, that being said, the Salvinia was still dominant over the red terror and chasing the red terror around and sort of keeping him in check a little bit. But when she wasn't chasing him, he was going after any other fish that might cross his path. As I mentioned in my prior video before I did this experiment, the aquarium was pretty calm and I was reluctant to begin with to make changes, but I think the X factor is going to be the red terror. So if I take the red terror out, I think the geos will be fine. I think the red shoulder severum will be fine. The electric blue acara, I think they're all going to be okay. I think the X factor that's causing the stress that could eventually lead to things like illness and other things that are related to stress, fin damage, and maybe even being killed off, is the red terror. This puts me into a very interesting predicament because I have a 55-gallon that's out of commission until it gets replaced, and the same person that gave me the red terror is bringing me a female red terror, which he was able to pick up at a fish show. So that's going to be interesting when that gets here, and that's my friend Whip, because the red terror now has to go into a 29-gallon until I can set something else up. I do have a 60-gallon acrylic. That might be ultimately where the male and female red terror go. So at any rate, I'm going to go ahead and fish that red terror out of here, and hopefully things will calm down, get back to the way they were before. All right? As I like to say, never a dull moment. Stay tuned, my friends, and wish me luck. Here I go. Well, that changed everything immediately. And there's the Oscar roaming around again, the way I like to see him, as opposed to tucked in the corner, fearing for his life, with his tail between his legs. Amazing the difference one fish can make. Yeah, he was going after the chocolates as well, I think. And here's the Vieja. Again, a happy camper, which makes me happy. Love that fish. Meanwhile, Mr. Thug Life is going to be living over here in the Supermax 29-gallon until I can set up a bigger aquarium for him, maybe a 60-gallon for him and a female. But for right now, he did the crime, he's got to do the time. So he'll be in here for a while. Stay tuned, we'll see how this develops. And if you like the content of this channel, be sure to hit me in the face right here to subscribe, and go ahead and click right here for my best tips. See you again soon, my friends. Bye-bye.